Good evening, everyone. Next Generation Weather Forecaster Joe Shock here. Taking a look here at the storms that are going to be coming over the next week or so. We're going to start, first of all, with my snowfall forecast for the Saturday night, Sunday event. We'll take a look at some of the guidance for that as well. I'll zoom in here, and you can see for some of my snowfall that I'm thinking across the southern New England area. This is going to be the first storm for a lot of locations, so you can see I have a lot of area of 4 to 6 inches of snow, and then 1 to 3 really up Martha's Vineyard, the Cape and Islands, and really from Falmouth north here towards the Sagamore and Bourne Bridge. But once you get onto the Cape, it's more of a mixture of rain and snow. But with the track that we currently see here being forecasted by the models, this looks like this will be a pretty good snowfall forecast of 4 to 6 inches of snow. And if the track can come a little bit further west or a little bit further east, that these may fluctuate over the next 24 hours or so. But overall, I think that that's a very good forecast for the event that's coming up. Here is the high-res NAM. You can see, again, similar to what I have. And when I made that forecast, the snowfall forecast at 1 o'clock, none of the afternoon guidance was out, so that was a real good wing at it, because here's the afternoon run of the NAM. You can see very similar to my snowfall forecast, 1 to 3 on the Cape, and then a large area, 4, 5, 6 inches of snow here in interior southern New England. Taking a look at the radar for 1 a.m. Sunday morning, you can see what will be a rain-snow line a little bit further north here than I expected maybe. Cutting down on the snowfall if this occurs further south. But again, where it stays snow, the amounts could even be a little bit higher. You can see there it has 5, 6 inches of snow, and it's still snowing, so maybe, possibly 8 inches of snow if enough moisture can get involved with this and the cold air is in place. So, interesting situation. And then here's a regular NAM. Again, you can see at 7, 8, if not 10 inches of snow here, just to the southwest of Boston here in Providence, and extreme southern Massachusetts, around the Massachusetts-Rhode Island border. So that's the weekend event. And then here's the European Ensemble. I forgot I put this on, but here's the 51 Ensemble, 50 members. You can see, again, very good and within my line of the forecast, between really 3 and 5, 6 inches of snow across the region. Now, moving on to next week. This is going to go ballistic, I think, and I'll explain why in just a second. You can see this very, very strong 500 millibar trough digging here. There's going to be a storm there's going to be a clipper, actually, if you will, that will be in the leading end of this trough that's going to get to the coast early next week, late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, and it is going to intensify really quickly as is all this warm water relative to normal off the northeast coastline. And the polar vortex, essentially in the troposphere, will be coming in here and phasing together. So this storm has the potential to rapidly intensify and throw back a lot of moisture into the region, resulting possibly in a big snowstorm for New England again Wednesday into the Wednesday evening time frame. And whether or not we get a lot of snow out of that or not so much, maybe a couple inches or maybe a foot or more, since the snow that's coming this weekend is going to already lay down a snowpack, the cold that comes in behind the storm on Wednesday is going to be absolutely tremendously cold. Here's the GFS Ensemble mean. You can see temperatures 5, 6, 7 C below normal. And the European, even colder. The European is, I think, 15 to 25 degrees Fahrenheit below normal. And I think next week, next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night, one of those nights, I got to figure out which night will be the coldest, if not all three. Even in southern New England, I think there's a couple nights that we go sub-zero, probably next Wednesday and Thursday night right now. In southern New England, sub-zero cold, and then maybe even sub-zero, if you will, sub-negative 10 cold in northern New England, maybe even minus 20, because this cold air that's coming in middle and end of next week, it means business. And with snow being on the ground, this cold air can manifest itself, and really, it can really get quite cold. And I mentioned that last week in the video. The threat of snow getting on the ground and the cold air coming this week, really end of this week and the next week. I was worried about that week 2, the week 2.5 time frame, that when the cold comes, if there's snow on the ground, it can get very, very cold, if not record-setting cold. So it looks like that's working out quite nicely. Here's a precipitation anomaly through the end of next week. Again, an active storm track here off the northeast coast. GFS ensembles for the storm next week. You can see again the rapid intensification. A lot of members there in the 9, 69, 70 range, and then you can see Wednesday morning pulling up into the Gulf of Maine, continuing to intensify along the way. There's a couple there on 957 right here. I'll try to zoom in. You can see 957, 965, But this is on the table, all right? This could be a real impactful storm, so we'll just have to wait and see. But overall, I like the way this pattern is going. It's getting cold. It's getting snowy. And it looks like the forecast for December is going to work out quite nicely. That's it for now, and thank you for watching.